What happens when reality slips into the WWE ring, when the line between entertainment and chaos completely shatters? These are the moments that were never supposed to happen. The unscripted disasters that made even the toughest wrestlers furious. Buckle up, because this is the side of WWE that the cameras tried to hide, the raw, the real, the rage. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a match, following the script, the crowd is roaring, then suddenly, your opponent goes off script. A real punch connects. A chair hits harder than planned. The look on their face changes from performance to pure fury. And the next few seconds? Anything can happen. Let's start with the night Brock Lesnar lost control. At WrestleMania 34, Brock and Roman were supposed to sell a brutal fight, but when Roman kicked out again and again, Lesnar snapped. He actually split Roman's head open with hard elbows, leaving real blood pouring. Backstage, Lesnar threw the Universal title at Vince McMahon, yelling, "You happy now?" That wasn't acting. That was raw, unfiltered rage. Then there's the real fight between Chris Jericho and Brock Lesnar backstage at SummerSlam 2016. After Lesnar busted open Randy Orton for real, Jericho stormed in thinking Brock went too far. He got right in his face. Two of the most intense men in WWE nearly went to war behind the curtain. Officials had to pull them apart. That wasn't sports entertainment. That was a near brawl between two lions in a cage. But nothing screams unscripted fury like CM Punk's walkout. Years of frustration boiled over until one night he just quit. No script. No warning. Gone. He walked out of the company, leaving fans stunned and management speechless. That moment wasn't planned, it was rebellion on live TV, and a legend said Bret never lost. And Bret's furious spit flying into Vince's face right after? That wasn't performance. That was betrayal caught on camera. Even the women's division has had moments of pure fire. Remember when Becky Lynch got her face broken by Nia Jax? One punch, real, not scripted, changed everything. Becky stood there, blood pouring down her nose, arms raised in defiance. She wasn't furious in fear. She was furious in pride. That blood turned her into the man. Or when Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax went off script live on Raw. The moves look awkward, hits got stiffer, and soon it turned into a real fight. They started throwing legit punches, trying to prove who was really in charge. The match wasn't entertainment, it was ego versus ego in its rawest form. And who could forget Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan in 2005? Hogan wanted the spotlight. Shawn wanted respect. When the script didn't go his way, Michaels decided to make a mockery of the whole thing, overselling every move like a cartoon. Every flip, every fall, dripping with sarcasm. Hogan won the match, but Shawn won the crowd's laughter. That wasn't cooperation, it was humiliation on live television. Then came the real slap heard around the world. During a heated promo, Stephanie McMahon slapped her own father so hard that Vince's face turned red for real. The fury that flashed in his eyes? Not acting. Even the king of kayfabe couldn't fake that moment. And of course, the night Edge and Matt Hardy's real-life heartbreak exploded on TV. Matt found out Edge was seeing Lita, his real-life girlfriend. It wasn't a storyline, until WWE made it one. When those two fought, every punch was real, every move came from real anger. It was a fight fueled by betrayal, not a script. Every one of these moments ripped the curtain down and showed fans something raw, the truth behind the show. Because sometimes, the ring becomes a battlefield not of stories, but of emotions boiling over. When pride, pain, and betrayal mix with adrenaline, the performance stops, and the fury begins. These unscripted moments remind us why WWE is unlike anything else on earth. It's not just about titles, fame, or victory, it's about emotion so real that it can't be written. Every time a wrestler snaps, every time the script burns away, we see the human underneath the legend. And as the lights dim, and the echoes of the crowd fade into silence, those moments, those raw, untamed seconds of truth, linger like ghost stories in the halls of WWE history. You can script the match, choreograph every move, and plan every promo. But you can't script emotion. You can't contain rage. You can't stop reality when it decides to break free through the cracks of the show. These moments, unscripted, unexpected, unforgettable, are the reason WWE feels so alive. They remind us that beneath the bright lights and pyrotechnics, there's something real at stake. Pride. Legacy. Respect. Years of sacrifice. Decades of pain. The kind of emotion that can't be faked even by the best performers in the world. When a wrestler's fury spills out, it's the result of a lifetime's worth of pressure building to a single, uncontrollable second. Think about it, How much rage does it take for a champion to throw his title at the boss? How much betrayal must a man feel to spit in Vince McMahon's face? How much heartbreak does it take for a friend to turn on another in front of millions of people? These aren't just stories. They're scars. Scars carved into WWE's legacy by the very people who made it iconic. Every single unscripted moment tells a story deeper than the storylines ever could. It's not just about winning or losing, it's about fighting for self-respect, for recognition, for something real in a world built on illusion. That's what makes wrestling magic. It's not just the scripted triumphs, it's the real emotions that burst through the performance and remind everyone that these superstars are human too. When Brock Lesnar's fury boiled over, when CM Punk slammed that metaphorical door on WWE, when Bret Hart's pride was crushed in Montreal, when Becky Lynch stood tall with her bloodied face, they all became more than wrestlers. They became symbols of truth, of rebellion, of resilience. And those moments, those glimpses of raw humanity, turned them into legends that no script could ever create. And here's the thing about reality, it doesn't fade when the cameras stop rolling. Backstage grudges, broken friendships, quiet apologies, and lasting hatred, they all simmer beneath the surface, fueling the very energy that makes WWE unpredictable. That's the beauty of it. WWE isn't just a show, it's a universe built on human emotions, raw and unpredictable, colliding under the spotlight. Fans don't just watch WWE, they feel it. They live it. They remember every shocking slap, every unscripted punch, every microphone drop that wasn't in the plan. Because in those moments, WWE stops being a performance and becomes a mirror reflecting what we all are, flawed, passionate, emotional, real. Because when you step into that ring, you're not just fighting your opponent, you're fighting pressure, expectation, pain, and the crowd that demands nothing less than perfection. It's an arena where respect must be earned, where tempers can ignite like gunpowder, and where every superstar walks the razor's edge between acting and unleashing their true self. The truth is, no matter how much of WWE is scripted, the emotions never are. The pain of betrayal, the burn of humiliation, the heat of ego, all of that is real. Every slammed door backstage, every fiery stare across the ring, every microphone dropped in anger, it all tells a story of people who live and breathe this sport to the breaking point. And maybe that's why we can't look away. Because when that script falls apart, what we see is real humanity, the kind that can't be rehearsed. We see champions bleeding for pride. Friends turning into enemies. Legends risking their legacy to prove a point. It's no longer about entertainment, it's about truth written in bruises and broken trust. So, when you hear the roar of the crowd and the ring shakes with fury, remember, you're not just watching a show. You're watching a storm. A world where every second teeters between order and chaos. Where one wrong move can turn a legend into a villain, or a villain into a hero. Where anger becomes art, and real life becomes the ultimate storyline. That's the heartbeat of WWE, the drama, the danger, the unfiltered emotion. And even when the cameras cut, those moments echo forever. They remind us that behind every mask, every move, and every catchphrase, stands a human being fueled by passion and pride. So, when you see two wrestlers glaring across the ring, wondering if they're still acting. Maybe they're not. Maybe that look isn't scripted. Maybe it's rage. Maybe it's pain. Maybe it's truth bleeding through the illusion. And that's what keeps the WWE Universe alive, the knowledge that at any given moment, the show could explode into reality. Because in a world built on stories, it's the unscripted ones that last forever. The ones that make us gasp, question, and remember. The ones that prove that even in the world's biggest stage of make-believe, real emotion can still steal the spotlight. And that's why we keep watching. Not just for the titles, not just for the rivalries, but for those heart-stopping, jaw-dropping moments when the script dies and humanity takes over. The moments when the superstars stop performing. And start feeling. That's the heartbeat of WWE, the pulse beneath the show, the storm behind the spectacle, the fire that never goes out. No matter how many storylines come and go, no matter how many eras pass, those unscripted bursts of fury will echo through time as the truest moments the ring has ever seen. Because no matter how much you try to control chaos, in WWE, real always finds a way.